everyone, it's Julie at Polynesian Plumeria, and today we're going to do our week 6 update for our summer seedling series. And it's not like I said serious, I mean series. So we have a torrential downpour right now here in Florida, in Central Florida, and I'm very thankful for it because I can turn my irrigation off. But not only that, the plants love rain over groundwater anyway, right? So it's really nice and refreshing, but it's kind of giving me this little chill feel, like, oh, I'm so tired. So I'm trying to get some energy for this video, right? So there's so many exciting things over here. It shouldn't be hard because week 6, you can already see, I haven't moved the lights yet. I did that on purpose because I wanted to show you how close these plants are getting to the top, right? Oh, and before I forget, that's Orange Splendor again. I can't help but wear it because it smells heavenly. My husband made such a good choice requesting that we add this one to the collection. So they're getting really close to the light, so I want to show you what happens. If I could keep it like that for a little bit longer, but if I do, these leaves are going to start getting sunburnt, and it's happened before when I wasn't paying attention, or maybe I was out of town over the weekend or something. So I've got to adjust these lights. So isn't it crazy that I didn't have to adjust them for the first 6 weeks, and now it's time. The last 2 weeks they will be adjusted more than once, watch. So you just, on my Aero Garden Bounty Elite unit, I just pull it up and just grab one of these connectors. It doesn't matter which one. I can do that one or that one. I think I pulled from this direction, yeah. And I just want to give them a gap of at least 6 inches or more. I don't want to go too high though, because they really need those grow lights to grow. So I'm going to go that high. And this one I'm going to match it. There we go. We brought the lights up. So I don't need to do anything on these guys because remember, they're only 4 weeks old, but they're growing. And man, look at some of the differences. Look how long these leaves are. And these are all the same variety. These are all Bora Bora Amethyst Twist. See how long those leaves are? It just goes to show you the genetics. Every single seed is different, but they're already showing some differences. You see that? And then these have got the little baby leaves. This one's got some really dark leaves and not as many. And then we've got 2 over here that are not surviving very well. So I'm just gonna leave them in because they help close that hole up, because we don't want to leave it open like that. That's too much air and oxygen, and it's going to affect the other plants. So either leave them in place like this, or I've heard some people take a golf ball to close that hole up, or I tried a quarter. Of course, that was too small. I guess you'd have to have a $50. But I just leave the sponge in. It's not hurting anything, and it's keeping everything, oops, hush. Sometimes water will drip on the units, and it'll think that I'm pushing buttons, but I'm not. So remember, you got to keep these reservoirs full of water. Make sure you're adding a little bit of peroxide to every gallon that you prepare ahead of time to pour in when they need water. And look at this. Look at these roots. And the 6-week-old ones. They're coming out the top. Isn't that funny? You see down in there? That reservoir is filling up with roots because it's week 6. Watch this. I'm not going to pull it all the way out because I don't want to have an issue getting it all back in, but look at those roots. A lot more than last week. And now we're going to show you some multi-tips. So even on this little baby one, where was it? Right here. This 4-week-old one that's still a baby, right? Look how it's split down the center. I don't know if you can catch that or see that. But she's got a main stem or stalk, and then she split. Her multi-tip is she split at the top. They usually don't split at the top, at least not for me. Typically, they stay on that stem. That main stem stays like a main stem. It doesn't split at the top. They usually split on the sides. So let's get some pictures or video of this one. I think is a 4-tip already. If you can count those tips, see there's one there, one here is coming out, one on the back side. And then I think around the corner, my husband said he saw a 6-tip, which I believe is this one. And I can twirl it. You can see the tips. I'm twirling very carefully. See that? So that's where the tips come into play. Remember I told you in the beginning you weren't going to see the tips until they grew a little bit more? And look at some of these dark leaves. They're so cool. I love when I see the really dark leaves because they're unusual. You don't see them as often. And remember, all of these are potpourri. Except one. I think it's this one over here. So what's going to be really exciting, next week we're going to do another update, and then the following week will be week 8, and that's when they come out. And what's going to happen on that day is I'm going to go into more of an explanation about how we have to transition these water-grown roots, and they have to transition to soil-grown roots. and it's a process, and it can happen. It's happened successfully for me now with over 300 seedlings. It's just you have to take some precautions. They're sensitive. They need that time to transition. It reminds me kind of when you're growing like vegetable seedlings and you have to harden them off. You have to just introduce them to the sunlight gradually. You've got to make sure they're in the right type of soil. You've got to make sure that they're watered. What's the last thing? And fertilized. But I don't give them a lot of fertilizer when I'm first transitioning them into soil, because I don't want them to have any stress. So I'm trying to alleviate all the stressors that I can think of. And that's what has worked for me in the past. Do I once in a while have one that doesn't transition well? Yep, once in a while, and it's typically the runt or the runts of the group. So in these two AeroGardens, I don't see any runts, but if you look over here, I do see some that are smaller than the others, and that's typically what happens if they don't transition well and go from water roots to soil roots, or develop from water roots into soil roots. It's typically the younger ones. That I say younger, they're not younger, they're the same age. They're the smaller ones. So they were probably already going through some type of process of not growing well or developing well, or as well as the others. So a lot of times that's what happens, but it's no big deal. The majority of them always transition well, and that's what we're looking for, right? So what else do I want to tell you that's coming up? I've got some videos coming up this weekend. I'm going to be doing rooted Plumeria versus grafted Plumeria. I'm doing an electroculture video, which is what all these copper pipes are doing here. And I know I keep teasing you that I'm doing this and I still haven't done it, but I will. And there's going to be a pruning one coming up probably the following week, because I have a lot of subscribers that are asking about that. What else? I feel like I'm leaving something out. There's another one too. I just can't think of what it is right now. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this week 6 update. I know this is when I get excited because I really see them take off, and you're going to be really surprised when you see them in the next couple of weeks hit this light. So that's what they've always done in the past. So don't prove me wrong. Don't make me look bad. Okay? You got to keep doing what you're doing. So I hope everybody has a great day. I know I'm going to try to maybe take a nap today with this rainy weather. Feels like a nap day. Have a great day, everybody.